How's it going? It's Rocky. So today I wanted to do a one-off content, just pretty much going through a trade that I did during the day. Since I took the day off, so I was able to pay attention to the market. I did a trade that took about 35 minutes or so and netted us a net profit or gross profit of $250 before commissions and fees. You can see that from the summary here where we had entered with our average one contract. This is the E-mini at 32,593 and pretty much exited 50 points later at 33,003. And of course, you can see the market is still moving. If I held on, I could have gotten more, but that type of thinking, that FOMO thinking is usually what would get you in trouble. But I was pretty confident about how bullish it was. This one just moved too quickly, so I couldn't adjust the top of my OCO, but it's okay. You can see here that the indicators do work where basically on the stochastic RSI and the time base, I buy when it's overbought after a crossover. So I pretty much was betting for a crossover when I had started this. And the reason for that, on the tick base side, it had already crossed over there. And of course, it was on the overbought on the top side. But anyway, that was a bullish entry for me. One contract got us $250. So following this is just really the live trading. I'll speed up the in-betweens, and I have some commentaries that I'll keep there to show you realistically what I'd be doing if I was full-time trading during the day, which I'm not. I haven't done a recording of my live trading in a while, and I thought I'd do that today. It is Friday, May 27th, about 11:21 a.m. in the Pacific Coast. I took the day off, so I have the entire day to pretty much look at the market. It is a Friday before the 3-day Memorial Day weekend, so it's always a bit worrisome to trade during that Friday, but I am seeing something that I like here, and we'll see how it turns out. I am trading the YM here, which is the E-mini, which essentially means one contract you need a margin requirement of 12,155. And as you can see, markets are doing well today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, let me change my watch list to the E-mini here. It's already up pretty much 1.10%. And it hit a 5-day high of 32,980. So that's a bit of my hesitation in entering here. But with the strategy that I do use, I usually go long when the stochastic RSI on the time base is in the overbought and the MACD had crossed over. So it hasn't crossed over yet, but that's why I'm watching it closely. It's above the zero line, so that's a bullish sign for me. And if I look at the tick base side on the right, you can see that the stochastic RSI is already in the overbought, so it's incongruent, and you see how the MACD has already crossed over. So really, I'm waiting for the left side to do something similar. And it hasn't crossed over yet, but it is lagging. And that's one of the reasons that I'll just go ahead and start it. And let's just, I can only afford one contract on this one. And we shall see how it goes. Alright, so we entered with one contract. Average is 32,953. And let's see, I like to add my visual lines just to help me with my trading here. That's the horror. And then let me add my average, just 32,953. Oops. Let me just adjust that. Do the same on the tick base side, and while this is going, I guess just pay attention to the PL open. That's how we're doing. So every point is $5, and yes, I will protect myself because that's how I usually trade when I'm trading in the live market. But in the previous few months, since I had a conflict of interest, that's the reason why I started trading the micro and trading at night when I had time. But with this one, I have tighter stops. So let's see what we'll do here. So let's just do a 50-point trailing stop, which I don't have set up on there. But basically, I am committing to a 250-point loss if I am stopped out. And let's just change this to good till canceled. And on the other side, let's just aim for, it was 50 points. Let's just say 20 points is what we're aiming for on this one. Yeah, well, maybe not. Let's do 25 points on this one. So 53 plus 25 is 78. Yeah, let's just do it there. So essentially I am risking almost $240 for a gain of about 120. So 2 to 1, 1 to 2, however you want to do your ratio. And then something I like to do is I like alerts. So average is 53. Let's just say when we're above 63, I'll do an alert, so that way I can adjust if needed. Okay, and then from here, I'll just record it, and if it takes too long, I'll just speed up the content, and we'll bring you to the next relevant part. All right, I'll be back. There you go. You probably heard my alert, which was 10 points above our average. And I do that so I can, remind myself to pay more attention to it, because this is usually when, depending on how it's doing, I may adjust the top of the OCO. So it's looking good a little here. So, this is the emotional part that I've tried to take out. I know I've had issues with it, but you could either hit your goal and exit at your original goal, or this is where your opportunity where you can move it up a little bit. But the alert is really just to remind me to pay a little closer attention. So we'll see how this looks like if we just let it exit there or adjust some more. But going back to our indicators, you can see that the time-based MACD, you can see I take that back. We went from positive to negative. Anyway, right here is really showing you how fast things can really move. But I do have an OCO, and earlier, I was risking about 250. Now I'm at 160 because it was a trailing stop, so it had adjusted accordingly. So I guess we'll just keep that running, and then we'll come back to it when we are closer to exiting. So I'll be back. I will add my alert back again, which is the 10 over. I have no alert on the bottom because, like what I said, I was willing to pretty much risk the 50 points trailing stop from the bottom, which is now, of course it adjusted because it's a trailing stop. All right, we'll see how this trade goes. So we entered this trade at 11:22 a.m. It's now 11:48 and we just hit the first alert. So it's taking a lot longer than I had hoped for, but that's the main reason why I placed the OCO. So you don't have to really pay attention too much, and hopefully that will help you take the emotions away from it. So this is a tough one to go long because we know that we just hit a 5-day high of 32,980, and right now I'm just entered a trade because the indicators was a risky early entry because the indicators weren't quite there that I was looking for, but I'm rooting for an entry essentially to prepare for the power hour, which will occur in about 11 minutes, where there's usually more activity. So still am feeling good about the position I had. I'm really waiting for this MACD on the time base to diverge a bit more, and we shall see how it goes. Again, it's taking a lot longer, but I'm just giving you the quick summaries, and I will speed up the rest of the in between, so you still sort of see what's going on, but you won't get bored with no real action that's occurring there. So I'll come back when there's something I wanted to point out, but wanted to show you what it's like when you're trading during the day right before power hour. Again, I haven't traded like this for over a year because I usually trade during the EU and the Asia market, leaving it overnight, and that's the reason why I swing traded, because I was trading the micro and it was a slower market. But since today, Friday, I took the day off right before the 3-day weekend, I figured I'd see if I still had what it takes to trade during the US market, and I'm trading the E-mini, so we'll see what happens to this one. Alright, so you just saw that alert, or heard the 73 alert, and you saw it move up a little bit, and you saw me quickly react and adjust this higher. So it's now more a bullish sign. This is where I really like when I'm trading, because I can just adjust manually on the top, and when we get to a point where I'm comfortable with, I could move my trailing stop so we're above zero line, so at least we are locking in some profits that way. So again, in 7 minutes to the start of power hour, usually a lot more activity, and usually it's important to focus a little bit more. So my trailing stop, you can see the OCO here on the graph, both on the time base and the tick base. You can also see it here in the middle. So in the trailing stop right now, I'm risking $130. It was a 50-point trailing stop, which means the delta from the market value and this number is 50 points. And what that means is if it goes up, then this one will go up as well. But if this value goes down, the trailing stop will stay where it's currently at. So volatility is definitely there. I'm still hopeful for this bullish position. Yeah, you could say, hey, you could have exited and get some profit at about what was that, close to $100. But yep, you're right. But I am looking for more upside on this, and if I'm wrong, well, I'm limiting my mistake to $130. So we'll see what happens here, and I'm liking what I'm seeing on the MACD on the time-based side. Again, I am hoping for more divergence on this, which you can see with the histogram being bigger. But for now, I guess just pay attention to what's occurring on the PL Open. Some people like to take this away so you don't get emotional about what you're doing. I know to me it's very helpful to have this PL Open on the right, so because the math gets pretty tricky sometimes with this. So I'm liking this. I'm really curious if we can top the 5-day high of 32,980. And let's see, we're actually going to increase this a little bit. Let's just go to here. Again, there's no real logic there. It's just more as a feel for it. And now since we're above this, I'm just gonna, because it always gets so tricky right when the power hour starts, I'm gonna adjust my trailing stop. So I'm gonna replace this, and what I'll do here right now, as you can see, it was 50. We'll just change that to let's say 25. Confirm and send. And what then happens is my trailing stop is a lot. Ooh, what happened? Did I do that wrong? I think I did that one wrong, but it keeps going up on the top. I need to pay attention to that one, so let me adjust that first before I adjust my trailing stop. My computer is lagging a little bit here too, so real important to have a fast computer. My laptop is just a regular HP Envy, so it's definitely doable. Oh, I guess I didn't change that to 25. So I will change this number to 25. I will confirm and send it here. And what is going on? It's not taking my command. Anyway, as long as I pay attention to the top, that's the important one. It stayed at 50. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. I don't know what is going on, because I did enter 25. And when we confirm and send, we are seeing 25 trailing stop. Anyway, we are now above that 80, our net. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it adjusted it. So at least if this goes south on me, I'll lock in $45. Sometimes when I'm at this point, when I could also just flatten it so I could get whatever it's at. But since it's a bullish candle, as you can see there, I want to see how far we can go with this one. So I'm adjusting that again, and we shall see what happens there. So we'll give this more time. Right now, just pay attention to the right or up here. So our PL Open is about $160. We're 2 minutes from power hour. Actually, okay, so right now my trailing stop on the bottom is 25 points, and I guess we're about almost 25 on the top too. All right, let's keep this going. And as a reference, being up 1%, that's a lot. And I normally wouldn't have taken that long position, especially when we hit the 5-day high. But yesterday it hit 1.8%, and everything is just looking good. So I'm taking what the market is giving me. So that's why I'm just letting this be. So 1 more minute till the start of power hour. We will see if we'll get additional increased activity, but for right now we'll just let this continue. So on the top, ideally we're hoping for $270 or more, depending on how this goes. And again, our average was 953. So let me just change this to 03. So that would have been 50 points from where we started. And might just leave this alone. Sometimes I'll debate to change the trading stop to something tighter, but since I believe in the upside so much, I'm just leaving that there. All right, now we're at the start of power hour, and crazy moves occurs during power hour. So you see it going up. Might be losing some steam here, so this is where you either just take your profit up there or you let it run. It all depends on your training or how you've been doing this. So for me, I'm gonna let it run and see where it goes. All right, oops. All right, there you go. That's fine. It was way too quick. I couldn't adjust it on the top anymore, but it's okay. We hit that 50 point above our start. So for the day, we made $250. So that's your gross profit. And then you'll subtract, of course, the commissions and fees. And usually what I always tell people is don't worry about what happens before or after you've exited a trade, because all that matters is what happened between your entry and your exit. So all right, I'm going to put this here, and I think I'll just make this my only trade of the day, because I still have my mistake from April 20th that I'm holding on to, but at least we're headed in the right direction. So my plan right now is whatever I was holding on to, I'll just let that, be its own thing, and I'm gonna go back to trying to trade with the E-mini, shorter focus, right? So anyway, hope you enjoyed that live content. I do my best to do this when I am available, but like what I said, I normally don't trade the US market since I have something else going on during the day. And hopefully you enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you more on future content. All right, have a good one.